Hey, you, friends, family, and strangers. It looks like there is enough gravel in that foundation back there. And now, what that next truck does, the one that's setting up right now. Where are you? Where are you? Sorry, I don't know what you can see. That truck, I think right there, if I can see it correctly, that truck is for cement. And a semi, that's for cement distribution over a long area. You'll see that on the time-lapse video I shot when that same truck was right here. That was good timing. It was right there, pouring a foundation for that building, and a semi truck comes up behind it, dumps, or rather cement truck comes up behind it, pours in cement. That truck lifts it up, has a long stretchy arm thing just like this, boom, and they can take the hose and drop cement in anywhere they need. Pretty fancy technology. Friends, I'm sad to say, here on the building directly across from me, there is a high probability that some third floor wall studs will be put into place. Some third floor framing will go into place, but I will miss it on the time lapser because I need that camera for other stuff today. That's right. I am finally getting back on the road right now. We're getting ready to leave in just a moment. We're doing so because it's been like 3 or 4 days since we went out and done anything kind of snazzy, so we're getting the F word out of here. I'm going to be on the road for a couple hours today just to get there. But what I'd like to do is I would like to see what we can get into along the way. So get used to this shirt, because if all goes well, you'll be seeing this for an along the way video today, and then tomorrow for a look at what I found on the side of the road full feature when I actually get there video tomorrow. Clear as mud? All right, gather your things and let's do it.
You're a loser.
There is that cement distribution invention. That whole thing stretches completely out. It can actually cover the entire footprint of that building over there without running out of reach room. The top part there completely opens if need be. It stretches out very far. Basically, that yellow crane thing is a giant, five bone arm pretty much, unlike my arm that has 2 sections. That has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 long bendable sections, and it's on a tater. The whole thing rotates and can go in any directions. Not only can that arm reach, but it can also change directions and reach from one side to the next, etc., etc. You will see that on the time-lapse video I shot of this other building. Isn't that fun? Let's go ahead and hit the road, however, right now. Finally, after about an hour and a half or so on the road, it is time to stop, stretch the legs, because I found this random spot out here on a whim. Split-second decision, detoured over here to check it out. Just a little roadside oddity. Just a little weird thing. That's it. Technically, it is a Veterans Memorial Park, but they have some odd things to take a look at and take a picture of, so I thought, why not? And darn good spot to stop if you are journeying across this fair state. Come on, let's go check it out. Under the shade of the gazebo, I will give you a full view of the entire park. And then we will go around and look at stuff. We have a train going on for some reason. We'll learn more about that in a moment. We have monument markers. We have a giant marine anchor, if you will. There is an army tank in the distance. There is also some kind of giant gun. And up there, we have a helicopter up in the sky. Let's go take a look. We are, of course, in Harrod, Ohio. I'm pretty sure that's the name of this town. And this is Harrod's train station, or at least it was. I'm not sure of the history here, but we will soon find out. Last time I was on a train, I got hella motion sick and hated it. However, I have always, and still am, much like many, many people, fascinated by trains. I do believe we can even go up in here and look around. And if we can't, we'll probably do it anyways. Let's go on up in this train and see what we can find. We are up in the belly of the beast. Not quite a steering wheel, is it? If you were careening down the railway on this machine, you really couldn't stand here in the middle to look where you're going. You would have to hang out over the side, like you see so many historic pictures of that happening. And try not to fall in while you're at it. There's no rail here to get down except for this side rail. You would think there'd be one built right up here just to make it easy, much like that right there. There isn't, perhaps, because maybe you're not supposed to be up here. Oops. This gravestone says that this is the Shea engine, which was built in Lima, Ohio in 1905 for a lumber company, and was later purchased in 1996 by the Auglaize Township Historical Society. Let's see if this is open. Maybe we should read what it is first. This is a caboose for crew members. This caboose spent most of its working years in Lima in Northwest Ohio and was renovated by the Auglaize Township Historical Society in '94. Let's see if anybody's home. Maybe they'll put on some coffee for us. You see what I'm saying? Beautiful, easy to get up steps, unlike those. Why can't we get some of those steps over there? Come on, Auglaize Township Historical Society, help me out here. Is anyone home? I'm guessing she's locked up. Take a look inside of there. There is a bunk. There's some bunks right here. A seat off to my right. A spot with shelves and books and everything. A nice table with a bench. And there is, I don't know if you noticed that over there, there is a wood burning stove right beside that red chair. I would not have expected to see a wood burning stove on a train. Some kind of little working desk right here with a bench. You can see a nice view of the world passing by back here in this crew member's caboose. So I don't know if it's the caboose that was used for the lumber company or what. I think the lumber company where the engine went was somewhere other than Lima, Ohio. And that caboose marker said that it was mostly used in Lima. See, this engine was for a lumber company based out of West Virginia. But the caboose apparently had most of its working time in Lima. Spent most of its working years in Lima. You see how I'm a detective? Do you see how I'm a detective? But now, the two long-lost friends are joined and hitched in Holy Historical Society matrimony. Let's see what's shaking up here, baby. This is the caboose of the caboose now. My favorite place to be on earth. Of course, we're trying to handle. And she's locked. Some bunks over here as well. Another bench. Perhaps with another desk, another work desk in the back. Same as in the front of the booth. And that's pretty much it back here. There's some kind of closet over there to your right. And looks like there's a refrigerator. Maybe there was a place to put a giant block of ice back in the day. I like that picture over there on that bunk over on your left-hand side. That drawing of the train in the description. Some train anyways. There's also cool pictures on the wall in there, but you can't really capture them with your face up against a piece of glass. Who knows? Maybe she's unlocked for tours at certain times. I'll have to check that out. But probably not. It's cool, but come on. Let's not get crazy. Let's see what this building is over here while we're at it. In memory of Carl Shepler, who donated lumberyard building to the Auglaize Township Historical Society in '99. I don't know what we're looking at here, but it is heavily gated. Some kind of building for some kind of reason. Maybe it's just meant to be a historical meetup, kind of makeshift museum type thing. Look at that picture back there on the wall. It's kind of cool. That is cool. I wish I knew what that was. Some kind of shop. Perhaps a diner. Not a diner, but what is that? Some kind of store, I guess. Okay. Harrod, Ohio, U.S. Post Office. I don't know if that means this was a post office or not, but perhaps that sign was from a post office. Honoring the world's greatest defender of freedom, the American military tribute banner program. These beautiful 24 by 28 patriotic banners honoring our veterans and active duty service members will be proudly displayed throughout the town of Harrod on Memorial Day 2023. I think this sign's a couple years old. Banner sponsorship for $155. You may pay by credit card online upon sponsorship form submission. Perhaps I can't read, but anyway. Look, there's candy on the table. If you want some Tootsie Rolls Pops, you can purchase raffle tickets. According to that sign over there, a lot of cool stuff in this building. The actual live happening right now post office is right there. Here in Harrod, Ohio. Harrod. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I'm from Quebec. What do you expect? Yeah, so maybe this was the old post office. Or maybe it was a building from something else with a cool post office sign in it. Pedestrian traffic, sidewalk only. No rollerblades, skateboards, bicycles. If you got an issue with that, take it up with the manager in the caboose. I don't like that the information about these is put on display with a gravestone marker. Little creepy. Let's go over here and get in on some of this stuff over here. We have an army tank, a giant ass gun, a gun so big it has wheels on it. Now that's a big gun. Some big anchor, a massive anchor, taller than a grown man. Perhaps it went on a really big boat. Then we have the full-blown helicopter up in the sky. This appears to be an actual grave. Let me take a look at it real quick. But look at this. That's kind of fun. It's a big train. If you lived right there, that looks like it might be some kind of shop, but if you did, the view outside your front porch would be this beautiful train engine in Kabuska. Let's see what's on this gravestone, just out of curiosity. Nice, beautiful day to be at the park. It is 72 degrees out today, and that is the high for today because the tree is in the buckeye and the buckeye is in the tree. I am in you, and ye are in me, saith the Lord. Did the Lord say that about buckeyes? This buckeye tree placed in memory of Reverend William Thomas, who pastored the Herod Christian Church from 41 to 81. That's cool. This is a buckeye tree. I am ashamed to tell you that I would not have recognized this as a buckeye tree. And I am myself a native buckeye, born and raised in Ohio. Oops. We're going to cross this extremely busy street to this other half of this park. I know that this is the Memorial Park. Where we just was across the street is the thing for that Township Historical Society and where the old Herod train station is, but I don't think it was an actual train station back in the day because there would have been tons of signage about that. I think since the township purchased that site, that roadside oddity just for the park, I think they just call it the Herod train station. But this is the Herod Veterans Memorial Park. The price of freedom. Unfortunately, because people are so evil and violent and war obsessed, the price of freedom, because of that, is usually your life. May we never forget the ship, the crews who proudly sailed her, and those who paid the ultimate price while serving their country. To the memory of all sailors who served aboard the destroyer. I don't know if this anchor is a part of that. Let's find out. This, of course, is the anchor, one of the anchors off of the USS Texas, which was a massive ship that served the U.S. Armed Forces from 77 until 1993. Now that's a big anchor. Let's go over here and check out the Army tank. This commemorates the Civil War from 1861 to 1865. There was an Indian War placard over there as well. Looks like some donors and things right here. Some people over there yelling outside of that restaurant, a little food pickup spot. World War II, 1941 to 46. 16,112,566 served in some form or the other, if I'm reading this correctly. 405,399 people died in service. 671,846 left wounded because of World War II. I'm assuming that is the whole thing. I don't know if that's just Americans or what. That might be the whole count of everybody from every nation, or it might just be referring to the impact on the United States. That's a lot of people. The M60 battle track entered service in 1960. It weighs 55 tons. 55 tons of murdering machine. This thing can drive straight through your house, and the people inside would barely feel it. That's a beast. Probably nothing compared to the weaponry of today, which is even a freakier concept if you think about it. She's a monster. Look at that gun. That'll do some damage, eh? Let's go over here and take a look at the beautiful flags and the helicopter in the sky. I love how the park has put the helicopter up in the air and kept it there. I think it is very cool that that happened. They could have left it on the ground and that would have been awesome as well. But I'm a huge believer in one thing. If you can show out, then show out. I think there's an actual mannequin up there in the driver's seat. Can you see that? See the arm and the head with the helmet on? I'll walk around over there in a minute to see if it is better picked up on the other side. Okay, so I'm all about showing out, but putting a mannequin up there, a little weird. A smidge on the weird side. There are and have been prisoners of war missing in action, and missing in families, missing in churches, missing in communities because they are prisoners of war. Honored here. You are not forgotten. But look again at this beast. And of course I needed a thumbnail shot. Duh. There's one more fun little gizmo over here. A gun so big, it has to have a set of wheels to hold it up. Another beast among killing machines. A machine designed to eliminate a wartime threat. These sandbags are actually, the bags themselves are gone, and what is left is the concrete that was in them. So maybe they were just concrete bags put in place. You can see some of the pieces of the bags are still intact, but slowly over time fading away, leaving this concrete wall in its place. That is pretty cool. Never would have thought of such a concept. If you want a concrete wall, just lay the bags in place, and the plastic outside of the bags will fall away, and you'll be left with the concrete. Is it sad that I'm more fascinated by the concrete bag wall than I am about this insane machine? I wonder how many birds tried to make a home in there before it was plugged up. She is a monster. So yeah, thank you. This is Harrod, Ohio, the Harrod Veterans Memorial Park. Right here on 2nd Street and whatever that other street is called. In between 2nd and 3rd Street. I'm sure you'll see it when you come through. It's hard to miss. Now leaving the thriving metropolis of Harrod, Harold, Ohio, and heading further down the road, baby. Congratulations, you have arrived at what might be Ohio's smallest, cutest, patootest county fair. Somewhere back there. Yeah. And I'll show you that place tomorrow, because you've been bad. You don't deserve to see it right now. You'll see it tomorrow, okay? Just remind me that I parked somewhat in front of these last two buildings down here. These last two white barns. And beside that are campers, okay? That's how you can remind me where I parked. Campers, two barns, me, and then more barns going toward that yellow building down yonders. Cool? Got that? Thank you. I don't even know if I'm actually allowed to park over here. I think this is property owned by some electric company. But look, I'm not the only one parked over here, and I'm seeing a bunch of people from over here walk over into the fair, so but there's zero signage, zero paid parking or anything, so hey, here's hoping. But if you see a pickup truck with the flag on the back, it's normally a good sign you're at the fair. I could take a nap right here in the good old car, dude. I just got done filming something back there. You'll see tomorrow. Quit trying to peek. And on the way home, hopefully, I will run into something else that might be fun to point the old camera at. We'll see. It's a 2-hour trip back, so here's hoping. Goodbye, sweet place of fun and boredom. I won't miss you. Bon voyage. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Out here watching the horses. Look at this guy. Out here watching the horses. He turned and looked. Heard me saying, look at this guy out here. I just came from the world's weirdest Dollar General. Got me a Monster and some snacky poofs. Went to pay the man. Got out my SpongeBob wallet. That's right. I love my SpongeBob wallet. And the guy at the register who didn't say a word to me yet all of a sudden said, "It's not Krusty Krab, it's Patrick." And then he went like this. And I said, yeah, a lot of people mention the wallet. It stands out to them for sure. And he said, the newer episodes just don't have it like they did when I was a kid. I said, yeah, I'm still pretty popular though. And he's like, have a good one. On the way out, there's another DG employee who's getting paid to smoke outside the building. And he said, have a better day. I was tempted to ask him, do I look like I'm having a bad fucking day, dude? We're gonna specialize in wind farms. You know, like ant farms? That's how you know you are close to Indiana, when you start seeing tons of wind turbines. This is Google Maps telling me that the police are ahead. Clear, undeniable proof that Google wants you to break the law That way, and because you're breaking the law, they want you to be able to continually, successfully break the law. They provide services that will let you know when to stop breaking the law. There's no other reason why Google would be alerting you to watch out for the police unless they are encouraging you to drive unlawfully out here on the Google Map services. Hey, you better stop speeding. There's the cops. We're letting you know. If Google cared about your safety, they would not tell you where the cops are. They would let you get picked up for speeding so that you could be less of a danger on the roadway to other people. I tell you what. I thought the rest stops in Ohio were only off of interstate highways. I was unaware that Ohio had rest stops off of state routes. But here's one. Let's go deposit some hot piss. Give back to the community. $3 for 20 ounces of chemical infused water. I think I'll pass today. According to the sign, these trash cans are from Britain. That's why they're referred to as rubbish cans. And according to that sign, the state of Ohio diligently investigates anyone placing trash in the quote-unquote rubbish cans to try to figure out if they're a local resident or if they are a traveler. If you are a local resident, if it's found that you're local, you will be prosecuted. Somehow there's a law. Somehow. Ohio Revised Code Section 5515.06 somehow makes it possible for the government to penalize you legally for placing trash into a trash can. If it's been determined through careful investigation of everyone who puts trash in there that you are considered in their eyes to be a local person and not a traveler. I hope when they investigate me, they will see that I live an hour and 14 minutes from here, and they will come down on me gently. We are now on State Route 33, one of the very few state routes in Ohio disguised as an interstate highway with double lanes going both ways and a large grass median and rest stops. Now, what I said earlier about rest stops is still true because the rest stops on 33 were put in about 3 to 5 years ago, something like that. For decades and decades, there was no such thing as a rest stop off of a state route in Ohio. But now, there fucking is, boys. Also, fun fact for you about State Route 33. Someone is killed on 33 every single year. Normally, around the beginning of winter time. And about half of those are the fact that people drive foolishly out here and they don't really know how life works and how fog works and how temperature works. And stupidity is dangerous and ignorance is dangerous too. Sorry to say that. I know some potential viewers have lost loved ones in traffic accidents and stuff. I myself have lost loved ones in traffic accidents. I'm not trying to be insensitive. I'm just trying to be honest and state the facts. A lot of times what happens out here on 33 and many, many other places all over the world, fog, when met with freezing temperatures, especially when people are still in summer mode, not quite ready for winter yet, they don't really think about the fact that freezing temperatures can cause fog to freeze to the road, causing a very thin layer of ice. That means your tires are going to lose their connection to the roadway for lack of friction, okay? And that is about half of the reason why someone is killed right here on State Route 33 every year. If you don't believe me and you would like to hear other people say it, if you'd like to hear sheriffs say it, sheriff's deputies say it, if you want to hear news reports say it, then Google it up and you'll get plenty to watch. I made it back to my town. My town. Time to do a little pit stop at the old Krogs. My asshole itches. I think I need to get that portable shower head up in the old butt cheeks areas. But, hey, first, it's time to get in there and get some soda pops. Maybe some Fagos or some Cocos or some Pepsios or something like that. Maybe even some SpaghettiOs, all right? If Trump was here, he'd be pissed. I didn't have to poop at all. Not even a little bit at all. Until I opened my door and stepped inside the apartment. And then out of nowhere, I almost shit myself. See, your brain does something kind of like what a dog does when you get home from work. It's got to go bad. It's been holding it like crazy because it knows it's time to shit. My brain has wanted to evacuate, extrapolate my bowels this whole time, but just because you don't feel it doesn't mean your brain don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Some things your brain wants you to do and you feel it. That's called the urge. And some things your brain doesn't even bother letting you feel until it knows it's time. That's called the subconscious mind, bro. Just freaked you out, didn't I? Got tuck in the wiener. Hang on. I got a big old fucking, hang on. Got a big old fucking bagger. I tuck it in and get this turned. Anyways, like I was saying, it ain't right. It ain't right in Biden's America. I'm tired of this. Oh, I don't feel like I was on the road very long to justify how woed out I feel. I'm going to go downstairs a little bit, see about getting the car cleaned out just a scooch. Let's not get crazy. Then after that, I think we're calling it a night. Thanks for watching. Tomorrow, I'm showing you that little micro fair I went to. Just for fun. You know, I'm trying to get my wheels wet. Trust me, we got a much bigger trip coming up, all right? So just calm down. Part of the walls on the third level over there have been put in place, which I missed today on the time-lapse camera. Because I had the time-lapse camera with me on a shoot, if you want to call it that. Took me a little trip, decided to get out for a minute, spread the wings for a smidge. Thought I'd point my camera at some odd things, stuff you just don't see every day. Whatever, no big deal. This building over here is getting more and more complete every day. It is. One day it's going to be complete, but it won't feel like that day it was complete. It'll feel like it's been complete because it looks so close to it anyways. I won't even notice when it's ready. That's how close she is. Take a good look at my view of the beacon light over there at the airport. Because soon and very soon that corner apartment on the third floor will completely obstruct my view of the airport. What a shame. What a shame. I wish they would just do everything except for that corner apartment up on the third floor. Why don't I go ahead and rent that space now and tell them to go ahead and not build it for me since I'm the renter of it? I think they'd do that for me. Just renting my view. Yeah, that sounds reasonable. That's how they do business, I think. I think I read that once. Well, friends, family, and strangers, that's going to do it for this day in the life. Tomorrow, I will show you that little weird spot I found. No big deal. Just thought it was kind of unique. That's all. You know. And then after that, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure if we're going to be here at the house or if we're going to be on the road again. I can't say because I'm kind of 50-50 right now on this next trip I'm taking. But hey, we'll iron it out together, right? But for now, I gotta go. You gotta go. It is time. It is time to pack up this campsite, to piss out this campfire and head back to the wee old apartment. I'm going to get some videos ready, and then I am going to hit the sack. And then I'm going to go to bed. If you know what I mean. Just kidding. Or maybe I'm not kidding. But don't worry, I'll be back with you again, like always, no matter what. If there is breath in my lungs, then that means I will be back with you again, like always, 7 days a week at 7 a.m. here again tomorrow morning. So, hey, don't worry, I'm coming back. But in the meantime, don't be a douche.